we have the Golden State Warriors going to the best team in the NBA's court.
That'd be Boston.
Who do you like in this
I thought
game?
y'all were talking about
Be smart
No,
now.
I'm
Be
not.
smart.
I'm not doing this. I'm not.
Oh, you ain't got a choice. This ain't a democracy.
So that's about it. I'm
Okay.
not gonna jack off this Boston team. So Boston it is.
All right. That's fine.
See,
We'll take a little
so
tease.
again, like what I just said a minute ago. The whole. I'm not even gonna say anything and just jack off Boston. Just- no stats.
We will
I don't
take.
want to speak well about Boston. I don't want to speak.
You
well
That
know,
is
about
true.
hey,
every
listen,
team.
sometimes, one girl will just give you a little tease and the next girl will give you the whole thing. Shaq?
Speaking of girls that give you the whole thing for no reason at all, he is a
I don't
Miami
know
Heat
why you just
fan.
looked at me.
I'm trying to look at a general basis of y'all over there.
Okay, well, Shaq, you got two eyes and a big ass head. Both eyes are looking at both of us. I get the left eye, he got the right eye.
Yeah, my team is definitely the cheap girl of the process, but I'm gonna go ahead and choose Boston. Y'all are proving for the past like 2-3 years that y'all are the new big team. I'm losing faith slowly but surely into Golden State being as much of a solid team. Yes, they're very much a big contender and one of the driving forces, but no longer the overly dominating team in the NBA as they once were. Y'all are proving to take over the title. Y'all have more of a complete team. Y'all just don't have Steph and a bully on your team.
We don't.
Exactly. Y'all have a well-rounded team. Guess what? Y'all don't care who y'all have sitting on the bench, who you got injured, because guess what? You have more than enough components on your team to take over each and every role. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Celtics. And y'all take that because I'm not much of a person to hype up y'all team, but I'm very aware what weapons y'all have.
It
And
kind of sounds like you want to throw up right now.
a little bit. I'm a little bit
It's
nauseous.
like,
because-
there's like a gurgling going on in the back of his throat. He's really uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, because I'm trying to swallow my pride and speak highly of y'all team.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to be one to bring stats because Nestor kind of feels like
Just make sure you don't steal his.
so. I just want to say that first of all, it's got to be Boston all day and twice on Sunday, people. First of all, Boston's favored by 5, and they're 25-19-1 against the spread, so they actually have a losing or winning record against the spread. Golden State actually is -4 against the spread. I don't have the number in front of me, but I know they're -4. And listen, Golden State's barely 500. They're 22-22 at this point in the season. Like they cannot figure it out.
Right.
And you're going to Boston,
Right.
okay? And we don't even gotta have to pick the point spread of the 5 points. Yes, I'm taking Boston. I'm sorry, Nestor. I'm sure you were gonna say that.
Now I think about it, Jaylen Brown is questionable. So for my fantasy league, that might be an issue. I have to change.
I mean, knowing your fantasy league, he's gonna blow out his spinal column before he even touches that court.
Don't you dare.
If you could go ahead and release Jaylen Brown from your fantasy team,
Immediate.
Exactly. Say, have you
I would
seen?
appreciate that.
You see the
'Cause
men's
I
fantasy
saw your
football?
football fantasy team.
No,
like,
the first.
Everybody's on IR.
And half
Projected
his
first.
team is on a stretcher for most of the season. So
You're in the ICU, man.
all because of
Tyler
Nestor.
Hero on my fantasy league, and
Which is why our team ain't doing well. But go ahead, G
They
Money.
beat New Orleans. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Relax.
Definitely take Boston -5. When you look at everything, Boston is number 2 in the league, not the East, but the league in points per game at 118, almost 119 in fact. The number 1 in free throw percentage. I mean, seriously, and as far as turnovers, they're fairly low in turnovers when you consider, because Golden State, they're 6th in the league in scoring, but they're number 1 in turnovers. So, yeah, you can score, but you're turning the ball over like 29 times a game. I've caught bits and pieces of the last couple of Golden State games, and they look old. They really do. Not as old as the
Aged
Lakers,
rapidly,
but they look old.
didn't they?
How many fans does the Celtics hold in a stadium, G Money? Like,
I don't know. Well, no, I'm just gonna say that. That like, I'm sure that if Nestor went last, he would come up with that.
I feel like that's a stat G Money would know. Like the average amount of fans that the Celtics keep in the
It
stadium.
was TD
Okay.
Garden Ave.
I will say this, that G Money, everybody has been floored with your analysis of the win trajectory.
Yes. Who do you know pulls on the win trajectory?
Shaq has been befuddled by this for 2 weeks now.
I'm sure in a closed arena in an
About-
NFL game,
like you
he
were
just
like,
put the
listen, man,
temperature.
like they're gonna have 7.9% win coming out of the South Northeast.
The humidity is at
About
about
2%.
41%.
So,
G Money
but
be
this
like,
is why we call him G Money though, because he has those stats.
G Money be like, in the closed arena on average, most teams keep it about 72 degrees in there. So
But he has those stats. That's what's crazy. I don't even know what websites he's looking at. Honest to God,
I feel-
The old Boston Garden, where they used to like
the old Boston
when you
Garden.
went as a visitor, you went into the visitors.
Oh, he's been there.
Um,
He has. I know this.
area right for the visiting team was like a fucking hellhole. I mean, it was half the size of the Celtics, and I don't know what they did, but it dripped in there. It was like condensation or something. So it was just nasty. And they
That
just
sounds
wanted
like
to let you know
Boston.
that we're stepping into the champions castle, and the visiting locker room, yeah, that's the fucking dungeon.
Yeah.
It's probably still is.
I mean, we still have the most championship
Yeah, we still do. Last time
No,
I
they
checked.
built that new stadium,
arena.
so I think they did away with that.
but did y'all have LeBron play there as a home team?
No, I don't know about that.
We got LeBron playing there as a home team. We got LeBron, Wade, Blood
Yeah.
Clot Brosh.
And all of them lost to Dirk Nowitzki. All right.
Let's get into some playoff football.
Y'all already know I was picking in that game. So next.
I know. He didn't even go.
Love this show.
We have Saturday at 4:30. The Jags go to Kansas City, where the Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. If you dare take that Jacksonville money line, it is plus 360. Tempting there if you're a Duval fan.
I mean, even the point differential is
Cardiac
Yeah.
cats.
crazy.
Cardiac cats.
The Cardiac Cats. Anybody want to volunteer to go first here?
I will go first.
Okay.
I will pick Kansas City in. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're good. I got it.
I'll pick Kansas City in the points because I feel like as much as Jacksonville pulled off some magic last week, I feel like they have to play perfect football this week to even make it competitive. Not even just to pull off a win, but to make it competitive, they got to play perfect football against Kansas City. Because if they're behind like third quarter or after the half, Kansas City ain't letting off the gas like boys. They're playing pedal to the metal the whole 4 quarters of football, and I do not know if Jacksonville can sustain 4 quarters of hardcore football. They can sustain maybe a half of football of hardcore football, but not 4 quarters.
I see
So
it against San Francisco. One half. I'll give you one half. Give you a puncher's chance.
yeah, first half or second half. Yeah, first half or second half, Jacksonville is gonna play a hardcore football against you, and they're gonna make it competitive. But the other half of football, they just playing. They're reminding you of what Jacksonville was the past 10, 15 years.
At
of
some point,
Jacksonville.
the talent's going to win out.
Yeah, or Kansas City is like they're going to keep it the same consistent. Mahomes is going to throw for 320 plus yards throughout the game. He's getting probably 3 touchdowns throughout the process.
Shaq's taking the over on Patrick Mahomes passing yards.
But it's Patrick Mahomes, and he's playing against Jacksonville. As good as they are, at the end of the day, the Jacksonville Jags are going to peek through. So I go ahead and give you Kansas City on the points.
Can I just
Go ahead,
real
Nestor.
quick? I've been burned by spreads all season. So you know what?
You didn't even do, like,
Columbia
Kansas City.
Fantasy.
We're too busy talking about nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Kansas City wins this game, but they don't cover.
So you're taking Jacksonville.
Take Jazz
Yes,
on the
And the
point.
I'm
point.
gonna take
Okay.
Jacksonville. I
Okay.
really want to be bold on this. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
you've been bold all year, man.
He's trying to catch up on his loss.
He's what, like -6?
You know, their win over the Chargers is the third time they were down by 17. One of those 3 times was against the Cowboys. And
taking all
I
the
feel
stats.
like this team,
That's why I should have gone
they're
first.
going to lose. I'm saying Jacksonville will lose.
Oh, okay.
Cardiac Cats will lose, but not by that
Not
spread.
by- okay.
I think they will surprise people that it won't be by that much. And I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to make the same mistakes again. Really don't think he's
He'll
going
be fine.
to throw that many interceptions again in the first half.
God, I hope not.
Why?
But he
Because
doesn't
he's a
have
great
to.
QB.
I mean, if
I really
if
think
he
he's a
does
good
do
QB.
that, you're definitely not winning that pick.
Go 4 picks against
Fine
this
with
team.
that.
Yeah, they're
Fine.
gapping at 50-0 at that point in
Here.
time.
Here's the reason why I'm going to take Kansas City into points on this. Is that even though it is an 8.5 point spread, 53% of the money in Vegas is still on Kansas City. 53%. Like, that's how much the bettors in Vegas don't believe in Jacksonville on this. Now, both of them won 5 straight to get into the playoffs. Okay. Kansas City beat Denver, Houston, Seattle, Denver, and Las Vegas again. None of them world beaters. Okay. Jacksonville beat Tennessee, Dallas, the Jets, Houston, and Tennessee again. So they did beat that Dallas team where they came back from 17 down. But we're all kind of worried about Dallas being legitimate anyways.
The last time they lost to Kansas City, how much was it by?
What? I don't know. Did you just pull it up on your screen there?
10? No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying I'm
They
pretty
lost,
sure
they
it was like
lost
10
by
or
10.
12.
Last time
it's
they
10.
played Kansas City, they lost by 10.
I think Jacksonville has grown up a lot since then.
Well, they have grown up, but at the same time, here's going to be one of the biggest factors, in my opinion, is that they had to climb out of such a hole against LA
Yeah.
to emotionally win that game in front of the home crowd. Now you're going on the road to what's been the home of the AFC Championship game for, I don't know, half my life, it feels like at this point.
Are you really at home in Jacksonville?
So, no, I'm not taking Jacksonville. What are you talking about? No.
You're the only one that's going to take Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville is
There's
spent.
like 4 fans.
I think
on the
Jacksonville
stadium.
is spent emotionally at this point. And if they get down by double digits in the first half, it could get ugly. Now, I do think that Kansas City is going to cover the 8.5. I don't think it's going to be an ugly game because you could lose by 10 or 13 points. It's not an ugly game.
Yeah.
But I do think that Kansas City is going to cover on this one.
Okay. G Money.
Yeah, some of these games are really hard, right? I mean, when
Crazy
you look at
point
the
spreads.
spread, you look at how the teams do against the spread. As Kansas City is 7-10, 7-10 against the spread, and Jacksonville is 9-9. You look at when they played the last time they played, and Kansas City beat them by 10. It wasn't as though Lawrence had a bad game. I mean, Lawrence threw for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's just that the Jacksonville defense didn't know who to cover. So when they covered Valdez, then Tony was catching. When they covered Tony and Valdez, well, guess who was making the catches? Kelsey. I mean, you have to figure out who you can double. And when you leave one of those open, Mahomes hits them for a touchdown. As much as I look at the numbers and everything, I got to take Kansas City minus the 8 and 5, the 8.5. I just don't. I think Jacksonville won their Super Bowl last week. I think going into Kansas City and playing in what will be not frigid cold, but it's going to be a lot colder than what it was in Jacksonville. And Malin and I have been in Jacksonville in December when it's fucking cold.
God damn, it was so
Bad enough they married their
It was
sister,
so cold.
and then I have to have it make it fucking cold in northern
I
Florida
had two
too.
sweatshirts on.
Damn.
That's ridiculous.
And that's an aspect that not even most Floridians can probably point at Jacksonville within a quick record time on the map of Florida. I feel like a lot of these Floridians got it. Not even just people in Jacksonville can point out where their own fucking city is.
Well, they can't.
Well, they know what county they're in. Damn sure.
They can't even spell it.
I'm also going to take Kansas City to cover the 8.5 points. G Money summed it up. Jacksonville already won the Super Bowl last week, so spending all of that just emotional energy. Now you're going up against a really good team that does not play around. So, like Shaq said, they'll probably have a good half, whichever one it is, sure. But Kansas City is going to handle their business. And sorry, but it's not Jacksonville's year this year. Like, this is a stepping stone kind of year for them, where it's like, all right,
Yeah.
we can be legit. We need to go retool and then come back next year and we'll go even further. But this year, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City, like, they are more battle tested, been here, done that kind of thing. So I think Kansas City's gonna, for the most part, just kind of blow them out of this one. So yeah, give me the Chiefs to cover 8.5. So moving on to the next one, got the Giants going to Philly. Two very interesting fan bases here that both hate each other, of course. And the rest of America all hates them combined, so it's only right. 7.5 points is the spread in favor of the Eagles. If you want to take the Giants money line, it is plus 280. And this is on Saturday at 8:15. So since I went last, I'll go first here. I'm going to take the Giants in the points. I think that this will be a close game.
Let's go.
Seeing how the Giants played the Eagles last time they just met, when the Giants had their bench out there and it was still a relatively close game, I feel like the Giants are feeling pretty good about themselves. They've got a lot of momentum coming out of that last game. They're going to come in with their starters this time around. And I'm not going to say that the Giants will win this game, but I just can't see this being a blowout either way. So I think that the Giants will keep this within one possession. It'll come down to the wire. It'd be very interesting. I think out of all the games, the Cincinnati-Buffalo game will also be very interesting. But this will be a very interesting game between the Giants and the Eagles. Malin, will go to you next.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games have such high point spreads, which is almost daring people to pick the underdog. 67% of the money is on the Giants right now. And with a team like Philly, that's a 7.5 point favorite, you're only 8-9 against the spread, and your starting quarterback that's playing hasn't played for a month. Like, it just feels like it's ripe for the opportunity for the Giants to make a splash. So, I mean, I actually think that the Giants could win this game. But I'm taking the 7.5 points. I'm not stupid. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants into 7.5 because I think this is going to be a lot more competitive of a game than what a lot of other people think it might be. And I think that the week off actually hurts Philly, and the Giants playing last week actually helps them.
Yeah. G Money, will go to you next.
So, as we're looking at numbers, the Giants are 14-4 against the spread. 14-4. No other team in the NFL right now is like that. 14-4, and the Eagles are 8-9 against the spread. The last time, not the last time they played, but the time before, when they played on the 11th of December when Jalen Hurts played in the last game too. But when they played at full strength, the Eagles actually did beat them by 10. But it's hard for me to pass up that 7.5 points. I know Philly has the best defense in the NFL right now, but still, I think I got to take the Giants in the 7.5. I think Philly will win. I really do. I think they will win this game. I tend to think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I would guess probably 24-17. So, the Giants, Philly doesn't cover. They win. They go forward. And we'll go laughing to the bank.
It's that half a point.
Yeah.
It's the
That's a half a
7,
point. That
7.5.
half a point pays.
That half a point is what really kind of pulls you in there.
Yeah. Because I see the Giants having one last opportunity to go tie the game up. Whether they do that or not, who knows? But Shaq, you can go ahead.
I've been really back and forth on my decision on this game because, like G Money says, best defense in the league. But do you take in the factor that they've had time to cool down because they've had that week off of just watching things go down and going through, or do they continue momentum all the way through, or did that week off benefit them because they had that time to really let people cool down and relax? This might be the only time I'm going to take a big risk on that factor. I'm going to go ahead and take Philly on the points. I say they take that time on this thing. Defense, all right.
Nestor's taking the Eagles as well.
Nestor, can you go ahead and pick the... No, Jesus. But I'm going to pick them. I'm going to say that their defense still is very much a competitor. They offense come out to be very explosive, and they just get through, and they really do make a push, and the defense really does hold back this offense. And even though Homeboy balled out this last week, maybe he has blown his, excuse the terminology, blown his load a little bit too early last week.
Damn.
And he really can't do it again this week because he really spent it all trying to fight out a team that he shouldn't be fighting out so hard.
When
Vanilla Vic.
I'm not saying he's got not a good game. I'm just saying he's not going to have quite the performance. He's already done it.
When did Nestor become the new Shaq on these picks? Like, he's not that bad with his picks, but it's like when he's like, even Shaq is like, no, pick somebody else. Like, I remember last year when Shaq would agree to be like, God, son of a, that means it's not gonna.
That's what I'm saying. If Nestor agrees with me, I know my pick is
I
washed,
just don't know when that happened.
I might as well go ahead and man's gonna catch up another pick on me on
The one thing I will say, Shaq, about what you're talking about, could the Eagles have gotten cold, is that I don't think they would have gotten cold with 1 week off, which is what they've had. But when you think of the offense, with Jalen Hurts not being there for the last month, that offense has been terrible for 3 weeks. So is the offense going to be ready to go without having their quarterback for a month, and now he's coming back in? Like, that's what is really kind of helped me pick the Giants on this, is that, like, with only 1 week off, could that cool down the whole offense? No, but not having Jalen Hurts there for 4 weeks cooled that offense down a lot.
Depends how you think about it, I guess. I think on the concept of the team's like, thank God this man is going to come back. He's going to play. I'm much more comfortable doing shit that I didn't feel comfortable running with this other quarterback, where I'm questionable of, like, is he going to place the ball where I need him to place the ball? Is he going to be... Am I more willing to take risk of reaching out and getting this pass? Whereas, Jalen Hurts is there. Jalen Hurts might not put me in a situation where I need to be. I'm more comfortable.
They haven't had any live game reps for a month.
We'll
He ain't even practicing.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. We're playing a lot of if, ands, or buts with this situation.
There's a whole lot of ifs in this game, and that like the point spread, the ifs, there's so many factors in this game. It's really fascinating.
All right, Nestor.
The Eagles have beat the Giants 16, 20 games since 2013. I feel like The Eagles are this team. I know you guys are doubting the Eagles, but this
I'm
is
down the Eagles.
I know they're gonna
doubt
win the game,
Cowboys
but
before you doubt the Eagles. And they set a franchise record this season for 177 points. You guys wanted the stats. I'm giving you the stats.
Go ahead, Nestor.
man,
But
as
you know
long as
what?
you don't agree with me, I'm okay with
After
it.
all the good things I'm saying about the Eagles, I'm gonna take the damn Giants on this.
Thank
Daniel
you, God.
Jones will ball out.
This man,
Jones, Daniel Jones will ball
Vanilla
out.
Vic.
Vanilla Vic will ball out.
Yes.
And
Man, Nestor's
I think-
wording
I have some faith in him. I have some faith in Daniel Jones.
this girl. Man, Nestor's wording this like a girl on the first date.
Wow.
I like you, but I'm not quite sure how I really feel about you, though. You very nice fellow, but you said some red flags. Man, just make a choice.
Hey, it's that half point. It's that half point.
It is.
I'm
It's the
very
half
uncomfortable
point.
with.
It's not like we're thinking that the Giants are actually going to win. Like they
No,
could.
I agree with. We're all agree that the
just,
Eagles are going to win this game. It's a matter of in what fashion are they going to win this game is what it comes
Honestly,
down
I think
to.
by 3 points. I think it's gonna be. 3
I ain't
points.
gonna say that's
3
that
or 4
close.
points.
I mean, I think it'd be
Honestly.
7. But
It's definitely gonna be 7. But as a matter of fact, do they squeeze in extra?
definitely gonna be.
It's definitely gonna be 7. But do they squeeze in?
Definitely
Do
7.
they squeeze in? an
No,
extra-
Nostradamus over here already. He's already.
Please
singing out of one
don't
of
don't
his
bury us, Shaq.
I'm trying to bury y'all. I'm trying to bury me. I try to bury y'all on that. I don't give a damn what y'all record is. Heaven forbid I get one game over y'all in this process. I look like a goddamn genius in this process. But
This man had to
Watch-
take
watch
Boston
the
just
Philly
to.
kicker, watch the
stay
Philly
with
kicker
us.
pull a Maher.
he look he the cowboy. He the Cowboys kicker.
There's no more Mahers out here. All right, let's keep it moving to the next game. All right, so another great one. We got the Bills hosting the Bengals, where the Bills are 5-point favorites. Bengals money line is plus 200. Another pretty good one. I gotta say, doesn't this kind of seem kind of like bullshit? This is played in Buffalo. Doesn't
Very
it
much
seem
so.
like shouldn't this just go back to Cincinnati, duke
Very
it out the
much.
way it should have been
Very
originally?
much. 100%.
Yeah. All right. Just
Yeah, since he
like
got
that was-
screwed on this
He
whole
got
deal.
screwed on
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Yeah.
strange. But anyway, this is Sunday at 3:00. We'll go with who has not gone first. Shaq, have you gone first yet?
I know I haven't. You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So 66% of the money's on Cincy. Okay. It's only 5 points. And as much as I'm not worried about Buffalo having the opportunity to go to the championship game, this is more about Cincinnati than it is Buffalo. Cincy's 12-4-1 against the spread. Buffalo's 8-8. Now, Buffalo has not been clicking on all cylinders for the last month. This is kind of what you were talking about a little bit earlier, Shaq. They didn't look good against Cincy for the first 5.5 minutes until Hamlet took a dive for the team. God bless him. I hear he's doing really well, and he's going to make a full recovery, but we made a big, whatever. Didn't look good against Patriots. They got saved by 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, which pretty much put it out. I'm sorry, your eyes just did a really weird thing. That freaked me the fuck out. And they still weren't really totally in sync against the Dolphins without Tua. Like they should have been able to put the Dolphins away a little bit more than they should. Since he is not playing Baltimore's defense, since he was looking very good in the game the last time they were playing, I think they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Like we didn't even get a coin flip. Like we're just automatically going to Buffalo. Like you guys want to try to hand this to them. I think they're going to be playing with a little bit of intensity that I'm not sure that Buffalo is. I think Buffalo fans are going to be able to match Cincy's intensity because the Bills Mafia, like, good God, like the amount of tables that will be bought and broken on Sunday is just unreal. But I'm taking I'm taking Cincy into 5 points. Because I think it's going to be a close game. But like we've been kind of talking about with Josh Allen, the gunslinger mentality. Maybe he makes a mistake. Maybe he doesn't. But all in all, I think that just Cincy has a better roster than Buffalo. So I'm taking Cincy.
G Money.
Yeah, I'm going with Cincy. One of the things Malin didn't mention about both teams being, against the spread is that both in every single game they were the favorite, so they were laying points.
Dang. Yeah.
Cincinnati never was given points in any game they played this year.
Wow.
They were always the favorite, and so was Baltimore. And Buffalo, and Buffalo was 8-9, 8-9
As the favorite.
and as the favorite every single game. And Cincinnati was 12-5 as the favorite in every single game, laying points. The only thing gives me a little bit of concern with the Cincinnati offense is they're missing both their starting tackles. Though I watched Jonah Williams against Baltimore, and he was getting beat. Before he got injured, he was getting beat. If I was doing anything in the offseason, if I was Cincinnati, I'd be making a call to John Snyder and asking him how he determined who the good tackles are out there so I could draft one.
Because we did good.
Because
left
they're just not. The O-line, I mean, here's the key to the game. If you cannot sack Burrows 5 or more times during a game, he's going to win that game. If you sack him 5 or more times, he's going to lose the game. And Buffalo doesn't have the pass rush. When Von Miller went out and was done for the season, their pass rush disappeared. And their defense hasn't been the same since that. So, yeah, definitely I'm going to take Cincy and Cincy in the 5.
Smart man.
Okay. Buffalo being at home, Bills Mafia is going to be going crazy. These two teams are pretty evenly matched, I would say. It's still kind of odd to me that the Bengals are getting 5 points, but I'm taking the Bengals money line on this one. I say they come out with the dub in the end. Yes, the big concern I do have is the fact that Joe Burrow is without his 2 starting tackles there. But the Bills' defense has not been the same without Von Miller. And if you go back, Hyde is not there. Obviously, Hamlin's not there. They're down to 3rd string at safety. Just their whole defense just has not quite been the same this year due to injury. So I think that the Bengals are going to pull this one out by hook or by crook. It'll be a close game, but actually, I see the Bengals win this by about a touchdown. I think second half comes around, it'll be a close game no matter who's up. And they're just going to pull ahead in the second half. I think Josh Allen's going to start to kind of press a bit, make some costly turnovers. Joe Burrow is going to capitalize. Jamar Chase is going to hold it down. Mixon's going to hold it down. Boyd and Higgins, they're all going to do their thing, and they're going to win this thing by about a touchdown and come out with the dub in the end. Bills have just been kind of on shaky grounds this year, and I know the Bills fans and the team itself is going to think like, all right, we're getting our rematch. We're at home this game. It's going to be very emotional, and they will play the first half really, really well. But when that second half comes around, the Bengals have kind of shown that they aren't going anywhere. Like they will hold it down. They are not the more emotional team to me. Like they seem very grounded, and they're not going to give a damn about any of that. And they're just going to come out and punch them in the mouth. So give me the Bengals money line on this one, Nestor.
Well, the Bengals have the banged up O-line. But it does come down to what G Money said. How many times does Burrow get sacked? And I feel like the teams are very evenly matched. Wide receivers, very evenly matched. Quarterbacks, very evenly matched. So I don't respect that spread. So I think the Bills will pull the win, but not by that spread. I don't think they'll cover.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Last but not least, Sunday nights, we have the Cowboys going to San Francisco, where the Niners are 3.5-point favorites. If you want to take the Cowboys money line, it's plus 165. Let's start with Nestor. Who do you like in this one?
Damn. The Niners have the better defense, but they don't have the better quarterback. As much as we've seen what Brock Purdy has done ever since my boy Jimmy G got hurt. I hate. What's the spread again?
3.5.
Yeah, that's close. Fuck. Because I really feel like the Cowboys will pull this through, just because we don't want them to pull through. America's team, nobody in America wants them to pull through. So I'm really frustrated with this one. Jesus. Man, you know what? I'll go with the 49ers. They have the better defense. They got the better playmakers, in my opinion. The Cowboys can run the ball. I feel like there's moments where they shine a little bit there. And their wide receivers are good. Dak Prescott has done well, but I feel like this game, it's gonna be a whole different matchup for him. And I don't think he's gonna pull through on this one. So give me the 49ers.
Shaq.
I'm gonna say the Cowboys on the points, purely because I feel like even with 49ers with the starting quarterback, I feel like it would still be the same outcome, because it's not like they're playing like regular Joe of teams. It's still the Cowboys, and they're having their season right now, so it'd be still a very close and competitive game. And I feel like the Cowboys can still cover the points even with their starting quarterback coming out there. So I will still put my money with the Cowboys and covering the points. I feel like, as much as I hate to say it, I feel like Cowboys can be a solid team as long as their coaching staff. I don't think it comes down to their players. I feel like it comes down as long as the coaching staff can open their minds and realize that, we have a complete team. If you can balance the run game, balance it with two running backs, which, to be honest, how many teams out there have two solid running backs that can both equally carry the ball just as well, as long as you're not trying to be a business, you're trying to actually be a winning team, can do it. So I feel like the Cowboys can very much cover that, if not more, on what's going on. So I'm going to give the Cowboys on the points.
Isn't the money? I mean, don't the 49ers have the points?
Yeah.
No, the 49ers are minus the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that change your pick in any way? Or you just confirming?
Can't change his pick.
Just making sure. I am with Nestor as well. I'm going to go San Francisco to cover this. Shaq brought it up. The coaching staff of the Cowboys. I think that's what's going to cost them in the end. Somewhere along the way, there's going to be some sort of missed call here that they should have gotten right. And it's going to maybe not cost them the game, but keep them within that 4 points or so. So I'm going to say the San Francisco 49ers do cover the points at home. This will be a good game. Whether it is a clock mismanagement, whether it is running the ball too much or throwing the ball too much kind of thing. I think that the 49ers will play a very balanced, even game, but the Cowboys will end up getting it in their own way in the end. This is one of those games where I kind of wouldn't mind being wrong. Like, I feel like the Cowboys, like we said at the top of the show, they are Super Bowl contenders. And I kind of want to see them go on because Dak is the better quarterback in the end. But the 49ers, I think they should win this game because they've got all the playmakers. They are a very, very good team. So, Malin.
I agree with you that I think as far as like what makes the best NFC Championship game,
Right.
it's Philly and Dallas. That's the best NFC Championship game. I don't necessarily believe it's going to happen because I'm taking the Niners in the points. Listen, 65% of the money's on San Francisco. They're 12-6 against the spread. Now Dallas is 10-7-1 against the spread. Okay, so they're both good against the spread. But here's the thing: is that Purdy has been a top 5 quarterback the last 6 weeks, top 5 in the NFL, in every major statistical category.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't turn the ball over. He's making big plays. Now his playmakers are making him look better than what he really is right now. Okay, but he's playing within Shanahan's system. San Francisco hasn't lost a game since October 23rd. A lot has happened in just my life since October 23rd. Like, good God. And they lost 44-23 in that game, but they've since ripped off 11 straight wins. And those 11 wins, they're averaging 31.4 points a game, and they're only giving up 15.1 points a game. That's a recipe for success to me.
Yeah.
If I was actually going to be picking this game off of coaching staffs, though, I don't know why people think that Kyle Shanahan's any better than Mike McCarthy, because Kyle Shanahan just went over 500 in the regular season this year, and he blew as an offensive coordinator one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history against the Patriots. So I don't know why people have this notion that McCarthy is worse than Shanahan, because I don't believe in that at all. I just think that San Francisco has more playmakers on offense. Debo Odebayu is that his name? The wide receiver. Odebayu.
Talking about
Abayu. Ayuk.
Brandon
God.
Ayuk.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk. I know. Yeah. And then you got Mitchell back. With Christian McCaffrey. I just think they have too many playmakers. And they got a much better defense than Dallas. Dallas had a better defense the first 6-7 weeks of the year, but they tailed off and they never regained it. So I just think that San Francisco is a more talented team, but I think talent is going to win.
G Money.
I'm taking the Niners minus the points. One of the things that Malin was talking about when he's talking about the spread, the 49ers are 8-2 when they're the favorite. The Cowboys are 3-2 when they're the dog, and they're getting between 2 and 5 points. I mean, my God, I'm giving you 2 to 5 points, and you're only 3-2. Okay, great team. Yeah, Super Bowl. There they go. Don't think so. And so how do you beat the 49ers? The way you beat the 49ers is you run straight at them. Pollard's not good at straight ahead running. He's more of a break it outside the tackle type of guy. And as we found out, the 49ers have too much speed for that. And Ezekiel, well, I mean, he hasn't been the same in 2 years, 3 years? I mean,
if not more.
He's going to go up the middle and get you like a yard, 2 yards. He's not
2.1 last week.
He's not Ezekiel.
He's not
his
that
rookie
guy.
season or his second, even his third year.
If we put
He's
a plate
not-
in
he's
the
not
end
that
zone,
guy.
we might get him.
Your hope on defense is to put pressure on Brock Purdy and get him into 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10 and see how he deals with it. And I don't think that defense is going to be able to do that. The Niners O-line is too good. They've got too many weapons, just way too many weapons. And then we look at 49ers defense, and I was actually wrong. The Eagles have the number 2 defense in the NFL. The Niners have the number 1 defense in the NFL. If you can't establish, if the Cowboys cannot establish the run by running straight at them, because that's how we got ahead. We ran straight at them, and then we did play action. And they should do play action against Jimmy Ward because he can't fucking catch the flu.
Or COVID.
But if you can't, I'm going to say that the 49ers have the best front 7 in the league. I don't think there's anybody out there that has a better front 7 than the 49ers.
That's fair.
And, Dak had all day to throw last week. He's not going to have that time this week. They're not going to give it to him. They will collapse that pocket, and they will crush him if he can't get rid of the ball quick enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So to sum this all up, from going from top to bottom here, all agreed the Celtics are going to win tomorrow night. Saturday, the Jags and Chiefs. Nestor's the only person taking the Jags with the points. The rest of us taking the Chiefs to cover. On the Giants,
He's laughing at himself right now.
Giants and Eagles, we have G Money, Malin, and Nestor taking the Giants and the points, and myself. And Shaq's the only person taking the Eagles to cover. On the Buffalo and Cincinnati game, I'm the only person taking the Bengals to win the game, and everybody else is taking the Bengals and the points. And then on the Niners and Cowboys game, everybody else besides Shaq is taking the Niners to cover, while Shaq is taking the points in the Cowboys. That sound accurate?
Yeah.
This is bound to be great.
Either I'm gonna look like a goddamn genius next week, or I'm gonna look ridiculous. That's one of the 2 options.
I mean, you do have a Hufflepuff phone case, so